Tim Stevens asking, and how, in addition to just names that could be out there that you've heard of, how important is it, do you think, for them to go out and get a veteran corner?
I got a lot of faith in Phil Parker. It was not his best year. It was not the position's best year, but they've run through several guys who are back. They lose a really good corner in Jamari. It's the second straight year you're going to lose a senior leader and a lockdown guy. Maybe not to the extent that Cooper DeJean was, but I think Jamari Harris deserves to be drafted. I think he will be drafted. So that's a significant loss. He's not playing in the bowl game. So I wonder, I mean, I know it's hard. You can't wait till your bowl game, especially when you're playing at the end of the year, beginning of January, to decide what positions you target. But with Phil, I almost wonder if that's what they're doing. I think Phil would like to get a look at all his corners, how they play in the bowl game. I know they like Jalen Watson a lot, the young freshman whose uncle was a great running back at Iowa, Fred Russell. So maybe they go after him. But they also got John Nestor. They got TJ Hall. They got Deshaun Lee. Rayon Strader's a guy, in answer to Tim's question, that highly regarded at Miami, Ohio. I think he was all conference. He has, I believe, committed to Auburn. They also had reached out to a guy. They had reached out to a couple of guys, if I'm not mistaken, from the FCS level at corner. But as far as momentum at that position, recruiting a cornerback, I've not caught wind of anything real substantial, which tells me, that's kind of the indicators that I need to believe that they're probably biding their time now. And I think Phil probably looks at this and says, hey, we've got 4 guys who have seen playing time, 3 especially. We got 2 spots to fill. He's got some younger guys he likes, but he'll also he's great at finding those diamonds in the rough. So my guess is he's not real afraid of having to target somebody in January, February, March, or even beyond. Now, you'd love to have somebody working with you during the spring, but knowing Phil Parker, how he operates, I bet he's not in a rush to land somebody at that position. I think there are other positions of greater need. I think offensive line is a greater need. I think quarterback is a greater need. Receiver remains a need. Sam Phillips is one to watch for. I know he was projected or crystal balled or whatever that crap is, projected to go to Virginia Tech. He took a visit to Iowa here, I believe, a week ago. Iowa's in his top 3, his final 3, really prolific FCS receiver at Chattanooga. And so he is not officially announced yet. And then, we talked about quarterback. They got a defensive tackle. We haven't talked about Jonah Pace out of Central Michigan. And they offered him out of high school. So there's a connection there. And they need depth at defensive tackle. He's a depth guy. All right. Now, if they don't get anybody else and nobody takes a big step forward, maybe he starts. But I don't expect him to be some all Big Ten type of performer. I believe he was all honorable mention, all MAC honorable mention this past season. So, I mean, do the math there. I mean, you can watch the kid play. I think he's got good discipline, good eye discipline. I think he's certainly a seasoned guy. This will be year 5 for him. I don't know if he came in 2020. Maybe it's year 6. I'd have to go back and look at what he did at Miami. He may have redshirted in 21 or in 20 and then gotten that extra redshirt in 21. But and then the kid from Rice, I see Asa Waters comment on him. He's projected to go elsewhere as well, and he's got a kind of a weird name, Ethan Oniyanwa. I believe actually he may be. Did he commit finally? I think he's projected to go to Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if he finally committed. But he was a kid that I don't know that Iowa got. They may have gotten him on campus as well. It's hard for me to keep track of all these portal visits, but Oniyawa, is that the name? Yeah. Let's see here. Are you seeing something on him?
Yes, he signed with Ohio State 2 days ago.
There you go. So he's off the board. They liked him a lot. I mean, what's not to like? 6'6", 345 pounder at offensive tackle, allowed just 1 sack on 294 pass blocking snaps in 24. But there's a reason why Ohio State wanted him, and so I'm sure NIL was a factor there, and love to play for the Buckeyes. I get it. So this is the same. These are some of the same struggles that you're going to have at the high school level trying to recruit the best players. That's just like the reality is fans that think Iowa is going to be able to consistently recruit in the portal against older guys who are seasoned, who are highly regarded, and somehow perform better against Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan. Why? Why would they be able to do that? And that when I talked about Perbula's commitment the other day, Mark, I kind of brought that up with macro look at Kirk Ferentz, because the difference is first of all, you have to be able to recruit the portal. I think more importantly at skill position spots, but there's an example of a kid who plays offensive tackle. Iowa needs one. I don't know who they go with at left tackle if he's not here. Maybe they slide Dunker over and then they go for a right tackle somewhere. But, Kirk has been able to make his money here by finding recruits that after 4 to 5 years are ready to play. Maybe 3 to 4 years are ready to play. The problem now is guys aren't waiting that long, especially at skill position spots. So there's more of an emphasis on your ability to recruit, your ability to recruit the portal, but it's recruiting nonetheless. Yes, some of it comes back to money, so NIL is important. But to me, without question, as this is played out, we'll see what this portal cycle does for Kirk. This just has put Kirk at more of a disadvantage. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But as I said on that show, Kirk no longer controls. He no longer can just say, we're going to make the makeables on and off the football field, because some of this is out of your control. You can no longer just say, well, all right, we're going to target the 2 and 3 star guys. We'll be careful with who we target, and then we'll develop them. You're no longer being given time with a lot of players to do that. So you have to be able to get guys out of the portal that are play now guys. And how do you do that when you have the likes of Penn State, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Florida doing the exact same thing? So fans should be concerned. I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom. Let this play out. Let Lester find his guys at receiver and quarterback. They've already got one guy at quarterback. No fans aren't real excited about him. Let's see what the bowl game looks like against Missouri. But my guess is they're going to have to get a couple of guys who are graduates this next year, and we'll see. It's new, uncharted, and I'm sure very uncomfortable territory for Kirk.